This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. With us like every Sunday, Governor David Paterson, and he expresses his beliefs for our city, our state, our country, our world, our solar system. Governor David Paterson, what's on your mind this Sunday morning?
Well, I'll defer the solar system for now, John, but the Pentagon might want to get in touch with some of the other planets because they want $200 million to continue to support the war in Iran. And that act is mysteriously reminiscent of what happened to President Carter in 1979 and the other issues where we went into conflicts thinking we could clear them up quickly and really couldn't at the end. Now, with President Trump, John, you know, I'm a Democrat. I didn't vote for President Trump, but I think you would back me up on I don't always say something negative about him. I think he made a mistake. And the mistake was when we first wanted to go into Iran, I thought he should have sought congressional approval because the polls were showing that 60 to 65% of the public wanted to clear up the situation with Iran. So if he had done that, even if people started to attack him as they are now, he could always remind them, yes, but we voted to go in there and I'm trying to clean this situation up. In the next few weeks, I think will be very critical because other countries are starting to insinuate themselves into the conversation. They're not sending weapons anywhere, but there are fears that this could not just become a conflict between the United States and Iran with Israel participating, but it could include a whole bunch of other countries.
Understood. Now, we're going to know sooner or later. I mean, people have asked me about that, and I said, they were complaining that the price of oil is $90 a barrel. I said, well, you should have complained more when President Biden, the price of oil was for 4 years $90 a barrel. Now, I predicted that in the next 3 weeks, maybe to 60 days, that the price of oil go back down to between 55 and 65. I guess we have to wait and see.
I guess we have to wait and see, but you would tend to think, based on previous actions, that the price of oil would go back down. I think there was an initial misunderstanding of what the reasons were that we went there in the first place. I think that has to be cleared up a little bit. I think the president, who communicates very well, would do well to have one of his televised conversations that that he offers from time to time to try to get people back on board. But all while this is happening, there's a lot of saber rattling coming from other countries. Some countries that we have helped, as he said, who seem to be undecided whether or not they want to be helpful to us. So it's a difficult position to be in, but it's a position that I think will change probably for the better in the next month or so.
Well, at least we'll know what the heck is going on. Tell us now about New York. It's just right now, we have an important election coming up in November. And we're worried about that Governor Hochul has expressed her worries that people are going to move out and go to Florida. And then she's asking the people that went to Florida to please come back. I don't know anybody that's going to come back from Florida that once went down.
Not unless they're bringing something. You're right, John. Governor Hochul spoke on Thursday at the Association of Better New York, and she spoke well. And I think that she is feeling the energy in that the anticipated candidacies against her are not turning out to be as strong as one might have thought at a certain point. Elise Stefanik was going to run against her, and then it kind of came out that she was so MAGA that she'd never have a chance to beat Hochul. The person with the best chance is Bruce Blakeman from Nassau County, and he's done an excellent job there. So he will be, hard to beat on Long Island. And then, of course, she had an internal conflict with her lieutenant governor. What governor has not had trouble with their lieutenant governor? The lieutenant governor tried to run against her in a primary, and he got humiliated. But now that she doesn't have to worry about the politics, I think she does have to think about what would be the enticement to get this legislature, which doesn't always seem to understand the moment and the need for certain actions, some of them that are temporarily difficult for the public. And I think those governors, and I'm hoping she'll continue to do that, who will face down the legislature and tell them this is what we have to do, will come out better in the end. And if that's the case, then she can call the people in Florida and tell them they can stay there.
Well, the blue states, a lot of the northern blue states, a lot of people are moving because they feel they have less taxes to pay down in Texas or in Florida. How do you justify, paying less taxes? As the senator from Florida says, well, we have less taxes and we have sunshine.
Well, while they're basking in the sunshine, you're right about the other blue states and even a few red states that have the issues that the taxes that are implemented in those states against the people who live there are making them desire for another place to live. And it's not the hardest thing to pick up and move to a different state these days. It's not like it might have been 50, 75 years ago. But I think that the economics is really going to dictate what the public's options are. And right now, the public seems adamant and I would say willing to make the initial sacrifice of moving, but for better opportunities, lower taxes, cleaner streets, lower crime, and a whole lot of other issues that you would hope you did not have to deal with in the state they're in now.
Governor, I'm going to give you one last number. New York City's budget is $127 billion for 8.5 million people. Florida, the whole state, is $119 billion for 24 million people. What happened to the money?
You remember the term fuzzy math? That seems to be the case, that that Florida, in spite of its size and its population, has been far more careful with how they manage their finances than New York, where there seems to be a competitiveness between the different counties, and the way it gets rectified is that everybody gets more. What does that do? It puts an inordinate strain on the tax base, and we're now starting to feel the whole thing coming apart. So we're going to need somebody, and I think Governor Hochul is the right person to face people down and tell them, look, you have to do this. Now, when I was governor, I was in that situation as well, but it was in the last year of my service. I knew I was leaving, so I knew I could face the legislature down, and that was one time they didn't get away with this. But I think that the governor's pretty much ensconced in her role. I don't think anyone's going to beat her, and that's the direction I wouldn't be surprised if she took. She has done that in Congress. She has done that as a staffer in the legislature, and now that she has more authority than she ever had in those other places, I'm expecting that she will utilize it wisely.
Well, Governor David Paterson, thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Well, I'm not sure, John. I may be moving to Florida.
Thank you, Governor.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.